Hi, everybody. Brian from Beer Bull Traders here. It is the weekend, October 5th. We are into the last quarter of 2025. The year is just flying by here. This, of course, is the weekend video. We'll go over what happened last week in the markets, and then we'll take a look ahead. We'll take a look at maybe some trading opportunities. So let's get down to it. All right, let's start out with a quick weekend review, September 29th. AI, semiconductor, cloud, and especially the quantum stocks on Friday, they continue to drive this market higher. Rally is somewhat concentrated in a narrow group of companies, many of which are now trading at pretty high PE multiples. So that's obviously raising a bit of a concern about a bubble that could be forming and a correction that may follow, but we'll have to see about that. Meanwhile, we had ADP employment data that showed a weaker labor market than we had been expecting, or they had been expecting, giving the Fed additional justification to cut rates. And of course, we were expecting to get Friday some employment data, government data, but the government shut down. We didn't get that additional information, but you may want to think that the Fed got some of that information anyway, even though it wasn't released publicly. And you can see the Dow, Q, SPY, IWM all managed nice 1+% gains for the week. IWM the strongest, small caps. And you can see healthcare benefited from some news that came out of the White House regarding drug pricing. And so the healthcare sector got a nice pop on the week. Utilities were strong on the AI trade, going to require a lot of power there. And energy and communications were the sectors that lost the most on the week. So 2-year and 10-year yields down a little bit. The dollar, of course, down with the yields. And Bitcoin notably up significantly from the previous week. We were trading around under 110, and now we're trading just under 123 last I looked. So that was your week in review. Books that are available on Amazon, you can see there one, How to Swing Trade, my first book, basic book on swing trading, profiting as an active trader, a little bit more in-depth swing trading information. I'll go into a lot more details and additional topics. And my last book, How to Trade Options, sort of an A to Z. What are options starting out, and then looking at some strategies as we got into the remainder of the book there. So you can check those out. They're available on Amazon, and the links are in the description below. Treasury yields, you can see here, still pretty down in this area of 3.5% on the 10-year, or the 2-year, I should say. And of course, with the weak labor data that we just got, and the odds are on more cuts coming by the end of the year here. So yields are obviously reflecting that. And you can see the 10-year again pulling back a little bit here, but still holding on to this 4% level. So chugging along there. You can see the Dow, another all-time high. Probably going to be a repeating theme in this section. Another all-time high, but we did pull back pretty significantly on Friday after pushing higher. The weekly, again, all-time high. And Qs, we did make an all-time high on Thursday. We tried to keep that rally going Friday, but the tech sector kind of pulled back on Friday. A lot of the Mag 7 names pulled back, even though the quantum stocks were on fire. But you can see here we had a pullback on Friday, but again, new all-time high on the Qs. There's the weekly, again, pullback. Again, market is feeling a little bit toppy. We've had a nice little run up, and we're at the top end of a channel here. The SPY, sort of same story. We did make a new high on Friday and then pulled back during the day. And again, you can see here on the weekly, another high, another all-time high. And IWM, we actually did break out on Friday and again pulled back. Same story here. It's repeating myself, but you can see here we have broken out from this 240 level, and now we're heading higher on the weekly. The IWM performing fairly well. The VIX kind of just hanging out in a range. No real fear in the market. The dollar just kind of flat, not doing much, down a little bit with the yields. And on the weekly, again, we're just chopping in a range there. And you can see here, look at, we're actually through 123 now, 123.265. I think we are breaking out here, and we'll talk about some potential trades here coming up in the next section of the video. So mentioned this was from last week's video. If you hopefully you took this trade here. This is FCX. Really liked how we had a big sell-off on this bad news on the mine, the shutdown of their big mine. We did get some bottoming action on the Friday, and that's when I highlighted it on the weekend. I thought it was a good opportunity for an entry right here, and had a nice move back up. I'd have taken a little bit off after we got back up to this area of support, or of I guess it was prior support, now became resistance, plus the 200 days. So I took some off at $40, nice round number, and still holding some. Hopefully maybe we can get back up to this this 42 where these moving averages are crossing. But I know a few people in our room took that trade as well. So congrats if you did get in on that one. That was another sort of UNH opportunity. We'll talk about that in a minute. FMS still in this one, kind of just hanging out here. This is one of my penny stock trades. I've been just killing this on these this year, but there are a lot of Canadian stocks, so don't talk about them that much. GDX, again, I've still just been in this gold trade. I mean, there's nothing new here other than there is nothing new here. The trend is your friend. And looking for gold to hit 4,000. LABU, this is a trade I've been in for a couple weeks as well. And you can see here we had a really nice pop through the week here. We got that, I think it was something to do with drug bill came through on the White House for drug pricing. And we got a nice move up on the biotechs there. And I'm still long some there. And silver, again, same comment as gold. Ching, 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 ching. Just keep making money on that one. TNA, I'm still long a little bit as well. Looks like we're going to break out here. And the UNH trade, again, still I'm looking for this this gap fill here. We almost got there on Friday to that 375 area. So again, looking to, and then maybe the 200 day, but that was a trade, another oversold trade opportunity that I took here when we were trading and looking at support around $300. So yeah, so those are some of the active swing trades, and that's how we do it. The swing trades. Look for oversold opportunities is a great one, and also just trading trends, which are your friend. So hot sector mania, which I talk about in my swing trading books, and also yeah, just trading oversold conditions. Bitcoin a little bit earlier, how it looked like it was on the verge of breaking out here. And any number of ways to play this. This is chosen Bitcoin Trust. That's one way to do it. You can see here we're right up at prior resistance and looking to break out here, just like Bitcoin is. And any number of ways to play the Bitcoin breakout. Could play it with Hood. Hood seems to be a pretty decent proxy for Bitcoin, as well as a stock like Coin as well here. But this is one way to play that breakout. So keeping an eye on that for next week. Netflix is really sold off here last week. Came down to an area where it was prior support around 1150. I'd be looking for possible support here. You could sell some downside puts and buy puts further to do a bit of a put spread, or you could buy the stock, and it looks like this area here, sort of like 1200, could be an area it could go back to. So that's a possibility for Netflix. OKLO came back up, filled this gap. Again, see the nuclear play, uranium play. So this could be coming back up, retesting a 140, this high 142, 143 next week. PLTR, big drop on Friday. Came back down right to an area of support. Again, I'd be looking for support here. If it doesn't hold, it's the next level would be down here around 160, 161. So watch PLTR, direction it could go. SMR, this is another nuclear play. Looks like it's stuck in a bit of a range here. Definitely support around 35 if you wanted to own it. And Tesla sold off. Originally popped up because it got good numbers, came out on the deliveries. But then people, I think, realized that a lot of the good delivery numbers were people rushing to get that last EV credit that was disappearing on September 30th. So possibly a lot of those sales were pulled forward, and Tesla kind of dropped down there. So there's an area right back down to 420 area of support, Elon's favorite number. We'll see if this holds next week. So that's a possibility for a rebound. And URA, again, nuclear play. Uranium could be on the verge of breakout here. We've been making a series of higher lows. This is the latest higher low, so we could be on the verge of breaking out here. And that's it for potentials for next week. All right, so wrapping things up for the week of October the 6th, coming up here. There's your levels, Dow, Q, SPY, and IWM. Economic events. We've just got a few things. Consumer sentiment on Friday. That'll be interesting. Lots of Fed speak throughout the week, including Wednesday. There'll be at 2 o'clock, there'll be the Fed meeting minutes from the September meeting. Might cause a little bit of volatility there. And as far as earnings go, pretty light week as well. We are coming up on earnings season, and I can tell that because Delta Airlines, DAL, is reporting Thursday. This is always sort of the first evidence I see of earnings coming, and we've got Pepsi and Levi as well on Friday. So, but earnings are coming soon and should be interesting. So let's take a little bit of a high-level view here for where we are right now. Gold, silver, uranium, AI stocks, quantum stocks all remain hot. I still believe that theme stays in place into the end of the year. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, I would watch for announcements that may sound like companies are pulling back on AI capital spending, and that's kind of one thing that could derail a lot of these trades here. So dip buyers, they're still out there. They're still supporting the market, and dips are continuing to get bought until they don't. Momentum is still strong. So that's it, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. I know I got this out a little late, but we will be starting our pre-market show 8 o'clock Monday morning, and of course trading live YouTube and with our traders in the trading room on Monday morning at the market open. So hopefully we will see you there. Have a great rest of the weekend. Bye for now.